breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Democrats try derailing Trump's SOTU speech, caught filling balcony with nasty surprise. Last year, Democrats wore white as President Donald Trump addressed a joint session of Congress. This year, they've been caught trying to derail his State of the Union speech by filling the balcony with a nasty surprise. Since Donald Trump's election, Democrats have taken to engaging in senseless political theater and partisan games instead of doing any real work. Take, for example, their charade last year. As the president addressed a joint session of Congress, female Democrats wore white in support of women's rights. Or something. If the Democrats want to fancy themselves crusaders for the female cause, that's fine and dandy. There are lots of women who need help. Just look at the girls in Middle Eastern countries who are being forced to marry as soon as they can walk. Others are permanently disfigured by angry exes who throw acid on them. And what about the women who are denied an education or the opportunity to hold a job? The list goes on and on. These would all be legitimate causes for the Democrats to take up, but they have remained noticeably quiet on all fronts, choosing instead to protest President Donald Trump, who they claim does not support women's rights. Meanwhile, Trump has made history for having more high-ranking women in positions of power within his administration than any of his predecessors. Riddle me that, Nancy Pelosi. Trump's State of the Union address this year will be no different in terms of political stunts pulled by his adversaries on the other side of the aisle. This year, Nancy Pelosi and her band of bumbling buffoons plan to wear black to protest sexual harassment. Taking a cue from Hollywood, some female Democrats in Congress plan to wear black to President Donald Trump's first State of the Union speech on January 30 in protest of sexual harassment. The all-black fashion statement will replicate the one female film stars pulled off at Sunday's Golden Globes. They flooded the awards ceremony red carpet with black gowns to protest the movie industry's rampant sexual harassment and sexism. Source: Fortune. This, of course, is just rich considering the fact that it was mostly Democratic mega-donors who were outed as the serial sexual abusers in Hollywood. The most notable of the Tinseltown harassment fiends was bigwig producer Harvey Weinstein, a good pal of both Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. Not only did Weinstein donate generously to Clinton, but he offered Obama's daughter Malia a coveted internship at his production company during her gap year from school. Pelosi hasn't had much to say about that, though. But, the Democratic antics at Trump's SOTU this year will not be limited to the color of clothing. In an even more petty and eye-roll-inducing move, Pelosi and her colleagues will be filling the balcony with dreamers. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats will fill the balcony with so-called dreamers and other immigrants during President Donald Trump's State of the Union address next week as the party panned a White House attempt on Thursday to reach a deal on immigration reform. The White House released a one-page framework for legislation that includes a path to citizenship for 1.8 million Dreamers, recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals Program, or DACA, and other undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. The proposal, the work of senior White House advisor Stephen Miller, was offered as a bipartisan compromise to give young undocumented immigrants a legal foothold in exchange for more than $25 billion in increased border security and a sharp reduction in future legal immigration. Source: Politico. Nice, Nancy. While you have your little bring your illegal to work day, Trump will be building a wall so tall and strong that not even our most elite special forces soldiers can pass it. In the end, these Democratic Party games will accomplish nothing at all.